Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We are on online lecture number 8 of the Introduction to Computing course. In the previous two lectures, we discussed system unit. As you know, system unit has a lot of components and a lot of details. So therefore, we are going to discuss system unit in this lecture as well. So this is the part 3 lecture of that discusses the system unit. So with that, let us see the objectives of today lectures. So today we are going to discuss type of memory used inside the system unit. Then we are going to discuss the expansion slots, expansion cards, ports, base, and then if we have time we are also going to discuss mobile computers. So the system unit has a memory, and this memory plays a very important role in increasing the processing speed or in increasing the performance of a computer system. Remember, if the computer is performing low, so people are not going to use it. So today, as there are like high graphics software, high graphics video games, and you have like videos and application softwares, and we also have Windows 10, which is of a very large size. So in like today's scenario, you cannot like rely on a computer having a less RAM. So just as told you, go for 8 gigabytes of RAM at least, or if you have more RAM, then that is very good. So normally RAM, random access memory, is inside of the system unit. It is near to the processor. It is faster memory than that of the hard disk. It increases the processing speed of a computer system. It is volatile. It means that when computer is turned on, the important instruction and data is transferred to the RAM. So that data is processed by a CPU. So whenever you turn off the computer system, that data is transferred back to the hard disk. Hard disk is a place where you permanently store those data. So these types of memory like RAM are used to increase the processing speed, to make the compatibility with the processor in order to process the data quickly and like show the result in very less time. So there are three basic types of RAM. The most common one is the DRAM, the dynamic RAM. It is like made up of capacitors and transistors. Because capacitors are used, so that is why it need recharging. I mean, you have to recharge it several times in per second. Then we have a more expensive RAM called the static RAM or the SD RAM. Now SD RAM are faster, more reliable, and DRAM, they are commonly used in the cache memory. Now cache memory is a faster memory, much more faster memory than the RAM, located between the CPU and the RAM. So the advantage of SD-RAM or SRAM is that it do not require recharging. So but it is fast, it is expensive, so you should make a trade-off between your budget and the memory that you are using. And the third type of RAM is called magneto-resistive RAM or MRAM. It has require less power, it has more storage capacity and capability, faster access time, stable and more expensive. So it's up to you. Whenever you are buying a laptop or a computer system, you should ask for these type of RAM and what are these the capacity, their manufacturers, and their quality depends on overall performance of a computer system. Okay, so where does memory reside? So where does you locate or you install the random access memory? So memory resides on a small circuit board called memory module. So you can see that there is a small board, this black one, you can say that this is a memory slot where you snug in or you put your memory. So memory slot on motherboard holds the memory module. So this RAM is used to, like, you put your RAM inside these slots, and on top of these RAM you have the memory chips where data is stored. So you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, there are 9 chips. So it may be like these chips may be on both sides, so in that case you call it dual inline memory module. uh, this RAM is very near to the processor. Why? Because it needs to give data like instantly to the processor in order to enhance the processing speed of a computer. So how much RAM does an application require? So just as I told you earlier, the more the RAM you have, the better the computer performance you have, and you have less like frustration, and you like you do not wait for a processor or for a program to like execute, and you are in a waiting state for a long time. So software package typically indicate the RAM requirement. So whenever you buy a video game or antivirus software or other application software, so they mention that how much RAM they require. For optimal performance, you need more than minimum specification. So here is an example. So it is Norton antivirus, Norton utility software. So it says that it require higher than 64 MB of RAM. So that were used in old computers. Nowadays you need a lot of RAM. Just as I told you, you must have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then like you will experience, you will be having a very great experience while using your computer system. So do not compromise on the performance of a computer system. And so how much RAM do you need? So it depends upon your budget, but in like uh, currently we have Core i7 computers, and a lot of them come with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. So these specifications are, I mean, of old computers. So I'll not recommend like any one of these RAM having like 128 or 256 MB of capacity. So it will be useless currently, but you should go for at least 8 gigabytes and up of RAM. So still what do you like do while you are like working on a computer system? Like you do home and business user, managing personal finance, using standard application software such as word processing. Word processor Microsoft is now a very enhanced and heavy software, so you need a good RAM. Using you can use computers for educational or entertainment purposes, communication with other on the web. So if you have like RAM between 256 and 1 gigabytes, so user require more advanced multimedia capabilities, running number intensive accounting, financial or spreadsheet program, using voice recognition, working with videos, music and digital image, creating web pages, participating in video conferencing, playing internet game. But now let me tell you, you should have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM in order to do all these things. And if you have budget, I'll recommend you to go for even 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that will give you a lot of power. So power user create professional website, run sophisticated computer aided design software or 3D design software or other graphics and intensive softwares. So now there is a special type of a memory which is called cache. We call it cache because it gives data instantly, like the data is ready for the processor to be used, and that data is stored in the cache. Helps speed computer processes by storing frequently used instruction and data. So the computer's speed uh, is increased. Why? Because frequently used instruction and data are stored in the cache memory. This is also called memory cache. If you have desktop 2500, this is an old system, so you can see its specification, like it's a Pentium 4. It's an old system, but it is just for the purpose of illustration. You can see that we have 1 gigabytes of TDR SDRAM, and we have 2 gigahertz with 256 kilobyte built-in L2 cache. So L1 cache is located inside the CPU, whereas L2 cache is between RAM and the CPU. So this specification is of Pentium 4. And like current computers, you may have like L2 cache having memory storage capacity in MBs or even in GBs. So what is the like what is the rule, or what should we do, what should you do in order to buy a computer system? Like, do not compromise on the processor. It should be of Core i7 having 9th generation or higher. Buy good SSD hard disk, and then buy a RAM having minimum of 8 gigabytes of the capacity. So L1 cache, just as I told you, level 1 cache is built into the processor, whereas level 2 cache, slower but has larger capacity. It is between the RAM and the CPU. L2 cache is advanced transfer cache is faster but directly built directly on the chip. So there are variation of L2 which are built on top of the processor. L3 cache is separate from processor chip and is installed located on the motherboard. L3 is only on computers that uses L2 advanced transfer cache. So you can have, if you need advanced transfer capabilities, you can use L2 advanced transfer cache. But usually if you do not have L2 advanced transfer cache, then you can use L1, which is inside CPU, and then L3, which is between the CPU and the memory. So with that, let me check out the time. Okay, we still have 8 minutes. And then we have another type of memory, which is a permanent memory, read-only memory, or ROM. It is like built or installed on the motherboard. These are memory chips that store permanent data and instructions, so you cannot erase the data once they are stored. So some important data are there that needs computer diagnostic, that are required for computer diagnostic or testing tasks, such as basic input-output services. So these are the ROM chips. These are also called non-volatile memory. It is not lost when a computer power is turned off. So the data is not lost when you turn off the computer. So there are many type of ROM, but for this lecture we are going to discuss 3 types. The first one is firmware, manufactured with permanently written data and instruction or information. And then we have programmable read-only memory, also called PROM, a blank ROM chip onto which a programmer can write permanently. So these are blank chips where a programmer can write permanent data on it. So it's up to you, it's up to the task of a user that which ROM he or she should use. And then we have electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM. This is a type of PROM containing microcode. Programmer can erase and then write multiple times. So you as a English department students, you should not be worried about PROM or EEPROM, because these are used by advanced computer programmer. For you, just learn that important information such as computer date and time and basic input-output services. Diagnostic memory used for diagnostic tasks are usually, these instructions are usually stored inside the ROM. And then we have another type of memory which is called a flash memory, non-volatile memory that can be erased electronically and reprogrammed. So you can electronically erase them, reprogram them, used with personal digital assistant, digital cameras, digital cellular phones, music player. digital voice recorders and pagers. So here you can see a flash memory. These are advanced types of memory where like you have then a flash memory card where you install this card. So in step number one, you purchase and download MP music track from the website with one end of the special cable connected to the system unit. Connect the other end to the MP3 player. So instruct the computer to copy MP3 music track to the flash memory chip in the MP player. Plug the headphone on into the MP player, push the button on the MP player and listen to the music through the headphone. So you can like connect this flash memory to this MP3 player. So whenever like you do not want this data, you can erase this and then you can install some other data. So it's up to you. Nowadays we have memory sticks or USB sticks or USB drive which are commonly used. It's up to you which one you are using and what are the tasks or requirement that you are performing and like what type of memory is suitable for that task. So it depends upon you, your business, your task. Then we have another type of memory called CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor memory. It uses battery power to retain information when other power is turned off. Stores date, time and computer starts up information. Used in some RAM chips, flash memory chips and other types of memory chips. So complementary metal oxide semiconductors memory are mainly used to store date, time and computer startup information. So whenever you turn off the computer and then you restart your computer, you see that you like see updated time and date. This is all because the time and date information are stored in the CMOS memory. Okay, then we have another important term that is often used in like by a computer professional, and that is access time. So when you are measuring the computer performance, then knowing about access time is very important. So access time is amount of time it take processor to read data from the memory. So I can say that amount of time for you people to like uh, grab a glass of water. So somebody will grab a glass of water in 5 seconds, somebody may take 10 seconds, somebody may take 2 seconds. So a person that is taking 2 seconds is more efficient and fast. It is usually measured in nanoseconds or ns, which is 1 billionth of a second. It takes 1/10th of a second to blink your eyes. A common computer can perform up to 100 million operations in same amount of time. So you can now realize that how computer machines are fast. So the terms normally used for access times are millisecond, which is 1,000th of a second, microsecond, which is 1 millionth of a second, nanosecond, which is 1 billionth of a second, and then picosecond, which is 1 trillionth of a second. So computer speed normally are measured by using these terms. So once again, let me repeat, access time is the amount of time it takes processor to read data from the RAM or from the memory. And then we have some important concepts called expansion slots or expansion cards. And expansion cards, they are important because often we people need them and we use them. So the first one is, what is an adapter card? So enhances system unit. So adapter cards enhances system unit or provides connection to external devices called peripherals. So the adapter cards are there to provide connection to external devices or peripheral devices, and these can be like input devices, output devices, printers, mouse, scanners, anything. They are also called expansion cards. So expansion cards or adapter cards are normally used for accelerators, like for increases the speed of processor. Accelerator is like another type of a processor. Disk controllers, which helps you to control connect the disk drive to the computer. Games, IO, input output devices, interfaces. MIDI connects musical instruments. Modem, network, they are oftenly used. PC to TV converter, and then TV tuner, USB video and video capture. So let us now see their examples. And so you can now see these are the expansion slots, and you can just with plug the sound card or the graphics card or the modem or network adapter, and then you can use it. Many times the computer may ask you about the driver of those cards, so then you install driver and then you start using them in your computer system, so they enhances the performance of your computer system. So what is an expansion slot? An opening or a socket on the motherboard that can hold an adapter card. With plug and play, the computer automatically configures card and other devices you install them. So this is an example of, I think this is a video card or a graphics card or modem, whatever, so do not worry about it. I think I should stop here because there are a lot of some other concepts and we are running out of time. So with that, I'll see you in the next class. So till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.